Hello everyone, just wanted to get on and make another video. I know it's been a while since I last posted. Yeah, it's mainly just been due to a lack of motivation and a bit of discouragement. I've been finding it hard to really put some of these videos together, and to be honest, kind of burned me out a little bit. But here I am by the grace of God, and I hope this message gets to who it needs to. As you guys can see, I'm going to be trying a new format with some of my videos. Mostly just me sharing a bit of gameplay that I've had recently, just as something to have on the screen while you hear these messages. So for the gamers out there, hopefully it's entertaining and doubles down as you hearing a message from God while enjoying some of your favorite hobbies. So with that being said, let's hop right into it. So the other day, I was doing some maintenance on my computer's air cooling system. And what an air cooling system is a fan that filters this liquid called coolant. Cool liquid passes through a filter that has a fan on it, and the fan blows that cool air onto the computer CPU. So yeah, I was well over the time of needing to do maintenance on this, and the reason I realized this was because my fan was actually making a loud rattling noise. I did some research and I found out that it does that if there's air trapped in the filter part, which is pretty bad. So I went in, moved the wires a little bit, moved the tubes a bit down so air doesn't get trapped there, and the sound was still there. So I went back in, moved all the parts out the way, just to make sure that everything was safe out the way and just doesn't get damaged. I went in and emptied the water out of the cooling system. Now, when I looked at this water, the fluid had some chalky things in it. So I emptied it out and I replaced it with regular water, which I don't recommend anyone doing. So if you have an air cooling system, do not do that. My mistake was not putting the right stuff in the system. And what that did was actually cause my computer to overheat rapidly. I'm talking like 2-3 minutes of me even turning the computer on. So yeah, I went back in, got everything out again, and I realized that I didn't fill the tubes enough. So poured some more water back in, turned it on this time, and the computer started running just fine. Only thing is, it wasn't getting as cooled off as it needed to, because that fluid that the system actually uses, it's like an antifreeze type of liquid. I waited a couple days, about a week or two, for the actual liquid that I needed for the system. And when I got it, I did the whole process again, got everything out, poured the liquid out, put the coolant in, put everything back. And this time when I turned on the computer, my heart nearly dropped, because that same sound that I was hearing before I did maintenance, it came back again. So I had to go back in, get everything out, put everything aside, shake out the air, and then just put everything back in its place. When I turned the computer on this time, and now my computer is running like a horse. There's no problems with it. Everything is in order. Now, there came a day where I was thinking about this, and God gave me a revelation that sometimes we're like the air cooling system. We don't need maintenance until we start making a weird rattling noise. And that rattling is usually the alarm in our spirits that's telling us something needs work. Sometimes we're not as sensitive to it, and other times the alarm is blaringly loud. So when God goes in and does that work in us, we have to be patient, and we just have to allow Him to work. Allow God to bring you through that process to fill you with the right stuff. Because just like the regular water, it wasn't enough to actually fill or satisfy the need of that air cooling system. It wasn't getting as cooled off as it needed to. It actually burned out the first time and overheated it. So we have to allow God to refill us and bring us through the processes that we need to go through. Sometimes it gets messy, fluid getting everywhere, parts being rearranged, but sometimes that's the work that He has to do in us for us to be a proper representation of the love of Jesus Christ. Now, I'm not saying that God's gonna rearrange you from like head to toe or anything, right? But the work that he does in us, he brings it to completion. Whether we're temporarily taking in something that's not fulfilling, or allowing the time for God to really do the work that he needs to do in us. Because there are no shortcuts with these things. There are some processes that some of us have to go through. Processes that build us up for the things that God has for us in the future. So don't be afraid of change, and allow God to complete that work that he started in you. All right, take care.